Welcome to DeFi Crypto today. Our topic today is Brinc.fi, the bonding curve token protocol. This is something very new. Some people will think that it's an ohm fork, but it's absolutely different from an ohm fork. They started developing this almost a year ago, and they've been audited twice. The system is completely different. It's using a mathematical bonding curve to price the token. As they say here, the GBRC token is a stablecoin built on a bonding curve that mathematically increases in price. Now, this video is sponsored by Brink, but I really think this is something that should be on your radar because it's new technology and it aims to solve some problems that are very common with crypto. And I'm hoping it's going to be successful. It's new, so there are risks involved, but we're going to have a look at it and you be the judge. Now, what's very interesting is that they used to be on Ethereum when they started, and now they moved on to Arbitrum. And I wanted to do an Arbitrum series because Arbitrum is a layer 2 that's taking off right now. I already started talking about Optimism, which is another layer 2 that's gaining popularity. So this year we're going to do a lot of layer 2s, including Optimism and Arbitrum. So today, because this is the first protocol we're talking about that's on Arbitrum, we're going to show you how to get set up on MetaMask with Arbitrum. So this is Arbitrum's Twitter account. And if you click here, it brings you to their homepage. So they say it's self-scaling without compromise. So it's a next generation layer 2 for Ethereum dApps. Use your favorite tools and scale your dApps at the lowest cost. So what they aim to do is reduce the gas fees, which, as everybody knows, are outrageous on Ethereum at the moment. And also, the transactions are lightning fast. It's really amazing. We're going to demonstrate with Brink today. We're going to do some transactions on Arbitrum. And you're going to see, as soon as you click, the transaction is done. It's almost shocking. So it's quite nice. And the fees are reasonable. It's in the range of $1 for gas fees instead of $50 or $100 on Ethereum. Okay. Now they have several dApps that have added that are either built only on Arbitrum or that have added Arbitrum to their list of blockchains. For instance, you have 1inch, which is on several blockchains now, including Arbitrum. Aave is coming soon to Arbitrum. And you've got a bunch of other well-known dApps that are now adding Arbitrum to their list of blockchains, including Bouncer, which is one of my favorite projects for farming. So, and Defi here as well. That's really good. Now, Binance is as a bridge to Arbitrum. We're going to have a look at that. So this is to help you send Ethereum because you still need to use the Ethereum token to pay for gas. Essentially, it's like working on Ethereum without having to pay crazy high gas fees and without having to wait 20 minutes for a transaction to pass. Okay, so you still need Ethereum, but now you're on layer 2, so it's faster and cheaper. And now with the help of Binance and I think other centralized exchanges, you can send funds directly to Arbitrum on your MetaMask wallet. So we're going to show you how to get set up for that. All right, so let's do that. First thing is make sure you have MetaMask, right? Like this. Now, I'm already set up for Arbitrum, but I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. You go to chainlist.org. All those links are in the description below. So you go here and you type Arbitrum. All right, so you want Arbitrum 1. So you hit connect wallet, so it connects to your MetaMask, and then you can add to MetaMask. Okay, now normally, because I'm already added, it's not showing, but there would be a pop-up with all the data you need to get set up for Arbitrum on MetaMask. So MetaMask would pop up and show you all the information after you hit add to MetaMask, and then you just confirm and you're done. Okay, but that's the easiest way. Always use chain lists. It's got all the latest data. So make sure you use Arbitrum 1, not the others. Okay, you don't need these. So it's Arbitrum 1. All right, so now we've got set up for Arbitrum. Well, we need the Ethereum there to pay gas, right? So a couple ways to do that. So as I said earlier, we can go on Binance. And if you select Ethereum, then you can select the network. All right. Now Arbitrum is listed at the top. So they say it should take about 5 minutes to arrive, and the gas cost is going to be about $9.30. All right. Now another way, but I don't think it ends up being cheaper than this, okay, is sending it to the Binance Smart Chain, which costs only 21 cents. But then from Binance Smart Chain, you can bridge over to Arbitrum. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you already have money on the Binance Smart Chain on other chains that you want to transfer to Arbitrum, I'll show you how to do that as well. But this is very direct. You can send your Ethereum directly to Arbitrum for about $9.30. See the difference? It's almost $20 to send Ethereum to the Ethereum network. Okay, so at least you see a difference in the fees already. If you're already on Ethereum and you have a lot of Ether on Ethereum and you want to send it to Arbitrum, that can be done as well. There are several bridges available. I'll show you one of my favorite bridges, Expollinate. It works pretty well. And so far, I had no problem with it. So let's have a look at that. So right now, my wallet is set for Arbitrum, but let's say I was on the Binance Smart Chain. So let's say I'm going here, Binance Smart Chain. All right, so now it says BSC, and I want to send it over to Arbitrum, right? Now, you need gas, right? So you need to have some Ether to pay for gas. So that's the first token you need to send over to Arbitrum. Otherwise, you can't do any transactions, all right? So we got Ether and Ether here. Now, right now, I don't have any that I want to transfer, but you can write the amount that you want here, and then you select swap ETH, okay? And then just follow the instructions. After about 5 minutes, the transfer is done, and the money is going to be transferred to Arbitrum. Okay, now that we've got some Ethereum in our Arbitrum wallet, we need to take care of other tokens that we need to add in the wallet so that we can see them. So if we go back to Brink, okay, no, we were not on the right network earlier. I think we were on Binance. So we're going to change that back to Arbitrum. Okay, now we can see the app. And yeah, now what we need to do is click on those 3 dots here. And it says here, add tokens. Now, Brink has 2 different tokens. They have the BRC token, which is the main token, and then you've got some GBRC, which is the governance token. And it's got several advantages. Not only does it allow you to vote on important matters, but if you use that, you can boost your yield considerably. You can make a lot more money with this. So I'll show you what to do. And then you decide if you want to just use BRC or if you want to pair BRC and GBRC when you stake. So we're going to try all that. But first, let's add the tokens. So we click here, add token. And it shows the two tokens, and we're going to add them to MetaMask so we can see them. So that's done. And it says that token again. And all that. All right, that should be done. So if we look at, so we can see our two tokens right there. That's what we want. Now, the other thing, the other token that we want to see is DAI, because to buy BRC token, typically we pay with DAI. So we're going to add the DAI token as well. Now, I don't believe they have that feature here directly. No. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to CoinGecko, and we look at the DAI page. It's got several networks, including Arbitrum right here. So we're going to copy the code. We're going to MetaMask. Go to the bottom, and we import tokens. And here, we're going to paste the code, and it shows DAI. And we add the custom token, and so on. So right now, I've got 1,000 DAI in my account. And if we look at the assets, we see our DAI right here. All right. So now we're ready to start. What we should be doing is swap some DAI for some BRC first. And then we're going to stake that. And then we're going to do, we're going to try to get some, to buy some GBRC as well. And we're going to try to stake that together with BRC so that we can increase our yield. Okay, so it shows you, let's get rid of this. So you have two choices. You have BRC staking and BRC plus GBRC staking. Right now, you've got a fantastic APR of 80,000%, which is super huge. And for the pair, BRC, GBRC, or if you don't want the GBRC, you can just stake and obtain 4,130 APR at the moment for BRC staking only. Okay, so here you have the choice. You can stake BRC or GBRC and BRC. All right, be aware that you have you need to select a staking period. The staking period, the longer you stake, the higher your APR. And when you withdraw, they charge a 9.9% tax. The point of the tax is to try to avoid people just taking in the rewards and dumping the token. Okay, now that tax goes in the treasury of the protocol. So it's owned by the token holders. All right, so let's go swap first. And we've got some DAI. So the price of the token is about 5 cents right now. If I look, I've got 5.7 cents. So let's say I put $100 on this, and it's going to give me 1,734 BRCs. So we approve this. And we should be able to confirm in MetaMask. So you saw that the gas fees, okay, about $2. So that's normal for Arbitrum. So make sure you have enough Ethereum in your wallet to pay for gas, okay? If you don't have enough, you're not going to be able to do the transactions. All right, so now let's buy some BRC. Okay, so I'll receive this much. It's going to cost me this much, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go for it. And we confirm. Okay, it's processing. So transaction, okay, transaction went through. At least on MetaMask. Over here, it's still thinking about it. And it looks okay, it says. Okay, all right. So let's go and stake that amount. We should be able to see it somewhere. Yeah, we see our balance here. So if we click on, like, let's say I just want to stake BRC. I would click on max. So my 1734 BRCs are here. And here it shows you what my estimated APR is going to be. These rates will change. Nothing is fixed in crypto. So I can select 30 days, 90 days, or 190 days. So I can stake up to 6 months. Okay. So the longer I stake, as you can see, the bigger the reward is. So if I say, it's a new system, I'm not sure if I like it or not, I just want to stake for 30 days, that's fine, but you only get 228%. If that's good enough for you, go for it. If you want more and you want to do it for 3 months, 90 days, you get 884%. Or if you're really degen like me, and say, the heck with that, I just want to make money. So I'm going to put it at the maximum. So let's go for that and see what happens. Confirm. And then I need to stake. So the very first time you need to approve, and then after that you need to stake. But once it's approved once, I don't think you need to approve again and again. So let's take this for 180 days. So let's read the fine print. By clicking stake, you're confirming this transaction. The following steps will increase likelihood of successful transaction. Should the minimum gas is higher than average, raise the gas limit to speed up the transaction. Okay, I think we're okay. Everything's been going fine so far. I don't think I need to raise the gas. Confirm. So it's going to stake my BRC. All right, so deposit is pending and it's done. So we didn't have to wait too long. Arbitrum transactions are reasonably fast compared to Ethereum. So definitely it's not so bad. All right, so there we go. All right, so now that's for just staking BRC itself. As you can see, the rates just changed. So as I said, the rates will change. They're likely going down, okay? So be prepared for that. So, all right, so that was nice. 4,000% is still pretty amazing. But what if I was going to pair that with the GBRC? So let's swap again. So I'm going to use a little bit more this time. What I'm planning to do is swap 200 DAI and buy some BRC with that. And I believe I have to swap the BRC for GBRC or something. So let's try it. I haven't done it yet, so let me try. So now I'm going to get 3,468 BRCs. All right, let's go for that. And let's confirm. I'm surprised that we have to approve twice, because we approved before for a very similar transaction. Anyway, doesn't matter. Maybe it's an Arbitrum thing, or maybe it's a Brink thing. I'm not sure yet. All right. So we bought our 3,468 BRCs. Perfect. Let's go with this. And let's go staking. All right. So basically, this time we want to deposit BRCs and GBRCs together, because we can boost the APR quite a bit. Okay. So here there's a button that says buy GBRC. How does it work? So it's bringing us to Sushi. Okay, so when we get to Sushi Swap, we should get this screen. If you don't get it, close the page and click on the link again. And at one point it will show up. So basically what you can do here is swap BRC tokens for GBRC tokens on Sushi. So you need to import the codes, and those are the contract addresses for the tokens, and you need to import them on Sushi. So click import. And right now we've got a balance of 3,469 BRCs. So we're going to swap, I'm thinking half, and then convert that to GBRCs. So that's how that looks. 3,415. 17, let's say about half, 1,700. Okay, and that gives us 2.356 GBRCs. Well, let's see if it works. And we confirm in MetaMask. Okay, transactions done. So let's do the swap and confirm again on MetaMask. And here it wants us to add GBRC to MetaMask, but we already did that on the Brink website, so we don't need to do it again. Okay, so transaction should be confirmed. And if we look, so the swap's done. And if we look down here, about half of our BRCs were swapped, and we got 2.356 GBRCs. So let's see if we can deposit that on the Brink website and earn a higher yield. So we're here, and I'm going to refresh because it doesn't show the new values. So let's have a look at that. What do we got here? 1769 and 2 over here. So that should work. Let's go with max here. So we can do only round numbers. Interesting. Okay. And all right, I just realized a little mistake I made. Let me explain what happened. So right now, I essentially I overpaid a bit for my GBRC. Why is that? Because the protocol has been launched only for a few days. There's not a big supply of GBRCs at the moment. Okay, the GBRCs are issued as rewards for people that are staking. Okay, and the minimum staking time is 30 days. So basically, we have to wait about 30 days before we get a big batch of GBRCs from people that are going to unstake. Okay, they're going to unstake their GBRCs and their BRCs. And at that point, a lot of them are going to become available because they're going to be on the open market because people are going to sell them or do whatever, right? So right now, the GBRC is very short supply. And instead of paying 1 for 1, I paid 738 for 1. And that's why I ended up with only 2 GBRCs. Anyway, my mistake. But no big deal. I can still earn on this. So I might as well deposit it anyway and earn some rewards on whatever that amount is. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So let's do go through the process. But for you who are watching right now, okay, before those first 30 days are over, don't buy the GBRC yet. Wait until it's been over 30 days so that the price of the GBRC is more reasonable, because right now I'm in very, very short supply and I really overpaid for them. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to pair 2 for 2. Okay, and I'm going to approve and confirm. Apparently we need to confirm again. Oh, I see. One time for each token. Okay. And then we need to stake them together. And let's go for that. And here we go. So I'm doing this for demonstration. Obviously, you wouldn't do just 2 tokens at a time. It just at the moment, there are not enough GBRCs to make it more realistic. But in 30 days, it should be all right. A lot of people will unstake and sell the tokens, and the tokens will be available on the open market at Sushi. All right. So what you can do is like, you check the price. You put 1 GBRC. It should be close to 1 BRC. Okay, not 736 like I did. All right. So now I can look at my assets. So my total balance, my unstaked balance, and my staked balance. So right now I have some BRCs that I staked alone, plus 2 BRCs that I staked with my GBRCs. And in my wallet right now, I still have 1,767 BRCs and 0.3 GBRC. Okay. This is the average buy price, current market value of the total, and so on. And here, conveniently tells you how much profit or loss you're making. And here, these are the rewards that are accumulating. Already, apparently, I earned 1.6 GBRC, so that's pretty fast. Considering the very super high APR, I'm not surprised. So, the numbers right now maybe don't make much sense because there's not a lot of GBRCs on the market, but in 30 days, the numbers will have real value. Okay. So just because the protocol is a bit young. So just wait a few weeks and then you'll see, your actual profit and loss and so on. So yeah, so keep remembering that you have this asset page, okay, and it's going to tell you where you're at. All right. So since I still have some BRCs sitting in my wallet doing nothing, I might as well stake them, even if it's just regular staking. This way, I'm going to earn more GBRCs, and maybe I can do something with them later, and staking together with and obtaining a much higher APR. So let's go with this, and let's click Mac. Okay, so let's click Approve and confirm in MetaMask. Confirm. And now we stake. Yes, we stake. Okay. All right. So if we look at our assets, total balance is here. Unstake balance is almost zero. And everything else has been staked. So if it's staked, it means it's going to earn me that APR. If it's not staked, it's not earning anything. So I might as well, stake whatever I've got and earn something on it. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the protocol. Now, some people might have a lot of questions. So definitely you need to go and follow like this and get notifications on their Twitter account. Okay, you're going to know what the new stuff is happening. Okay, all right. So they have some interesting articles that I recommend you read so that you understand more about what is that bonding curve. This is a new concept. Okay, as far as I know, there are no other tokens that use a bonding curve like this. As they say, the BRC has additional properties that give it inherent value, relatively stable price movements, and reverse inflation. You see, one of the biggest issues with Wonderland, Olympus DAO, and all the copies, all the Olympus forks that came out, is that a lot of people complain that, okay, that's fine, we're getting this huge APR, but we're creating a lot of inflation because we're minting a ton of tokens and their value degrades. Okay, that's what inflation does, is that you mint a lot of tokens, and the more you mint, the lower their intrinsic value. Brink programmed the protocol to do the opposite. The more people buy the token and mint new BRC tokens, the higher its value, and that's the bonding curve, and it's programmed mathematically in the code, okay, to do that. Nobody is going to manipulate that, and that code, as I said, was audited by 2 auditors, okay, by Certic and Consensus Diligence. There we go, Consensus. Okay, so they already got the code audited, verified, and everything. So nobody is going to manipulate the price. The price is dictated by the code. So more people buy the token, okay, so the more the token is minted, okay, the higher its value. If people redeem the tokens and sell them off, those tokens are burned automatically, all right? So that the price tries to stay as constant as possible. It's going to fluctuate, but it's designed to minimize wild price fluctuations. Okay, that's the point. So if we have a look at this article, so here's what they're talking about: minimizing downside and sustaining upside during market volatility. As we know, the market's been very volatile. Look at this. Ethereum minus 17%, BTC minus 11%. A lot of people have been crying lately because a lot of their tokens have taken a dump. Okay, a lot of them have been tanking all over the place. See all this red? That's usually not a good sign. All right. So, as they say here, when there isn't a clear positive direction regarding crypto and DeFi, problems start to arise in the form of downside volatility. That's what we're seeing, the sea of red here. Thus, uncertainty is always the ingredient that causes overheated market to start cooling down. DeFi, of course, is not excluded from this cycle, obviously. But the question is why the market is uncertain isn't as important as what is uncertain, since there is only one thing that's clear. Crypto and DeFi are still highly speculative, and almost all crypto assets are subject to massive drawdowns. In the past 2 months, Bitcoin is down approximately 46% from its all-time high of $69,000, and most other coins and tokens are down much more. Why is that? Because Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. Okay, it's just a speculative asset. Okay, people like Bitcoin, they pay more for it. People decide, I don't like Bitcoin so much, they sell it at a lower price. It's just speculation. Okay, now the Brink protocol was created to address these problems by providing intrinsic value in a fundamental valuable asset. Additionally, because of the way users can earn via the protocol, users participating in the platform are not only able to offset some of the market fear and uncertainty, but even generate returns. And that's why they give you this big APY. They want you to make a profit. All right. Now, bonding curve supports prices. Using a mathematical formula, bonding curves are used to create markets, manage liquidity, and execute orders. As a result, the price of BRC is also algorithmically calculated according to its current circulating supply and its reserves. So every time people buy the BRC, they give DAI to the protocol, and that goes in the reserve. And that's part of the intrinsic value of the system. Okay? Now, and the price depends on the circulating supply. So the more there are tokens, the more they become valuable. And that's why it's anti-inflationary. Therefore, price is always following along the curve in relation to the supply. The token price rises along the curve when buying occurs. If more people buy, more BRCs are minted, and the price goes up. So it goes against a lot of other tokens. Okay, the more tokens are minted in DeFi, the lower its price. But here, they solved that by designing the protocol mathematically to follow a bonding curve. And that fixes that issue that a lot of people have been complaining about. And then it says, whereas the token price declines along the curve when selling occurs, BRC is burned. So the more you burn, the more the price goes down, the more people buy, the more the token is minted, and the more the price goes up. Okay? Which is usually the opposite on normal DeFi. Okay, and that's what I find super interesting about this project, and that's why I'm talking to you about it, even though it's a paid sponsorship. The point is I select paid sponsorships according to the value that I think they provide. Okay, this one might provide some good value. It's new experiment. Okay, so is it going to work as well as they think? I hope so. and let's see how it goes, right? So again, be reasonable when you make investments, okay? When it's a new project, it's risky. Anyway, to go on with this, I like this article because it explains a lot of issues that people have with DeFi, and it explains also how Brink is trying to solve those issues, okay? So because of the bonding curve, the BRC has some unique properties that benefited during periods of uncertainty. An unlimited supply, a continuous token model which reverses inflation. Keep that in mind, okay? It reverses inflation. That's why it's acting the other way that the Olympus DAO token worked at, and same thing with Wonderland Time and so on. So it works the other way around. And then it has a high reserve ratio, which decreases the token's volatility. So that's a very a lot. Most of the DAI stays in the protocol to in the reserve. Okay. So while these properties may have been mentioned in the past articles, let's dive a little bit deeper into what benefits they bring. So, unlimited continuous token model that reverses inflation. What does that mean? As many market participants will know, when the circulating supply of a token or coin is increasing, but there is no increase in demand, this will usually result in price depreciation. So, most DeFi farms will issue a lot of tokens to try to attract investors. So they're going to give you a very high APR or APY, and you're going to issue a ton of tokens for that. Now, the more tokens that they issue, typically the price will go down because there's an oversupply and it creates a ton of inflation. However, BRC reverses this and only mints more BRCs when the chosen reserve asset, such as DAI, is bonded to the curve. That means people buy the token. So, in this case, the BRC token is only issued when people buy more BRC tokens. Okay? And you buy it with a reserve asset, which is DAI, which stays in the reserve, okay, to back up the token. As a result, one of the ways the BRC supports a price is completely reversing the relationship between inflation and token supply, thus removing one of the problems inherent in almost all cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. Instead of a decrease in price with an increased supply, BRC actually appreciates in price as supply goes up, because it follows that bonding curve. The more you mint, the more expensive the token gets. All this is done automatically through smart contracts. So nobody's manipulating the price. The price is calculated mathematically by the code. And the code has been verified already, as I said, by 2 auditors. Beauty of using smart contracts is that there's no third party or market maker needed to do the minting and burning of BRC. Because of the clear and well-defined rules of the BRC, it removes all third-party intervention. That's what I just said. Nobody is manipulating the price. The price is calculated by math. Okay? The protocol uses math, and that's what makes the price. So, a high BRC reserve ratio reduces price sensitivity. Not all bonding curves are the same. Therefore, depending on the reserve ratio between the reserve asset and the token, each buy or sell can have more or less impact on the price. The higher the reserve ratio, the lower the price sensitivity, and in contrast, the lower the reserve ratio, the higher the price sensitivity. So, okay, here they're showing the price versus supply at 70% reserve ratio. This curve is an example. Okay, it's not the actual curve, that bonding curve that's actually going on right now. Right now, this is the current reserve ratio of 70%, which shows increased price stability. Prices and numbers are just for this example not accurate to the current bonding curve. All right. Now, on the other hand, if you only use 30% reserve ratio, you see that the more the price reacts on each buy and sell. So here, there's a lot more volatility than here. Since the BRC is almost completely reserve back, high reserve ratio of 70%, price movements are much less sensitive to each buy and sell. Big whales can buy and sell, okay, but because there's a very high reserve ratio, the fluctuation should not be too wild, okay, because it's back at 70%. Additionally, due to the deep and immediate liquidity provided by the bonding curve contract, the contract is the counterpart and always holds enough buyback reserves, thus greatly reducing slippage when a market participant wants to sell or buy from the bonding curve. So again, the contract helps mitigate price fluctuations as well. All right, so the Brink system provides multiple potential avenues for returns. For investors, lots of ways to make money with this. Most assets or tokens only have one way they're able to generate profit for their users, the price appreciation of the token itself. For instance, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Buy it now and you're hoping that the price is going to go up later, and that's how you're going to make your profit. Okay? So, and says the user buys the and holds the asset until it reaches its target price, and then he sells. The Brink protocol does differently is that it allows users of the platform two ways of generating returns through its dual token model. It says, of course, the BRC can also increase in price. However, by staking BRC on a protocol, rewards can be generated in the form of GBRC. Moreover, the GBRC is also able to appreciate in price as demand increases. So not only are users getting the potential price upside of BRC and GBRC, but the GBRC is also being accumulated by users who stake on the Brink protocol. So in a market downturn, although GBRC is going to be less volatile, it doesn't mean it's completely protected from panic and sell-off. However, even if the BRC drops in price, the accumulated GBRC rewards will act as an additional buffer to decrease the amount of volatility that has occurred from the drop in price. As a result, users are heavily incentivized to stake their assets to accumulate rewards. So that's why they've got different periods. The longer you stake, the higher your rewards. Okay? That's to incentivize people to keep their assets and earn as much as possible. So the bonding curve essentially is based on the concept that the token's price is determined by how many tokens were minted. If more tokens are issued, the value will be higher. Furthermore, it provides a fixed price discovery mechanism that is both transparent and resistant to tampering because of the blockchain. So nobody can manipulate the price. Everything is visible. And everything is done by the code. And you can check the code. It's public. Because of the bonding curve, BRC has additional properties that give it inherent value, relatively stable price movements, and reverses inflation. Moreover, through participating in the Brink protocol, users can capture the upside of the price appreciation of BRC and GBRC, while also accumulating rewards through staking. Thus, participating in the Brink ecosystem is a great way to hedge market uncertainty. So, I think this is a very interesting experiment. Okay, it looks like they might have found a solution to reduce uncertainty when the market is very volatile. This is the first time I see a token that acts like this. Okay, the more you mint it, the higher its price. Okay, and you still earn a really amazing APR in the meantime. Now, I'm pretty sure the APR is going to go down as more and more people take advantage of this. But still, I think there could be some significant returns. I also like features that we saw. If we go back to staking, I like that we have a choice of 30 days, 90 days, or 180 days for staking. Personally, I like to invest for the long term. So for me, keeping it 180 days is not a big deal. I'm hoping the price of the token will go up. And assuming that people are excited about this project, if there's more demand for the token as its price on the bonding curve, the price will go up in value. Okay, so those are interesting concepts. Okay, is it actually going to work exactly like this? I'm hoping so. The code has been verified, but it's a new experiment. Okay, so there's still uncertainties. Now, I wanted to show you very quickly some other documentation that they provided us. Now, I'm going to put the link for this article as well. This one explains everything I've done today, how to bridge, stake, farm, etc. And it's got lots of nice pictures and everything. It's step by step. So it's exactly the same stuff I've done in the video. But for those that want to read it and go through those steps, the bridges are a little bit different, but everything else is the same. Okay. So you're going to have that as well. Now, definitely, not only should you subscribe to their Twitter, you should definitely join their Discord, because the protocol is new. So some of the stuff may or may not work exactly as planned. So if you find bugs or anything, you should definitely talk about that in the general here. Okay, and they also have a question section as well. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting protocol. You should have a look at it, okay, see if it's for you, and let's see if how it goes, okay? As I said, it's not the right time today to buy the GBRC token, as I found out. So in about a month, if you want to maximize your earnings, if you want to get this very big juicy APR here, in about a month, after the first 30 days are over, some people will on stake, and then there's going to be a lot of GBRCs available to buy. But at the moment, there aren't any. And that's why I overpaid for them. But yeah, so remember that. At the moment, you can earn some pretty high APR here just by staking the regular BRC token. All right. So that part is fully functional. This works, but there's not enough GBRC tokens to make it worth your while yet. But in 30 days, it should be okay. All right, so that's it for this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Download the free book. All you have to do is click the link, put your name, your email address, hit the submit button, get a big fat button that says download the free book. And if you miss that button, we're going to send you another button by email. You can download the free book. And if you don't want to download the free book, go to Amazon, pay $5.99 to Jeff Bezos, and Jeff will send you $1. See ya.